Washington Redskins offensive line is one of football's best, but today their reputation will be challenged by Lawrence Taylor and a fired-up New York defense. The Giants are confidently riding the crest of a 6-game winning streak. And with the right calls from Phil Simms, they hope to roll a 7 today. The Giants also face some stiff challenges today. First, their defense must contain Washington's fleet receivers, like Gary Clark. And their unheralded pass blockers will have to contend with Dexter Manley, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Manley relishes the spotlight, and today it shines brightly in the season's biggest game. Joe Morris ran the Giants to victory in their first meeting, but today's rematch is at RFK Stadium, where the Skins are hard to beat and where tickets are impossible to find. CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today it's the New York Giants against the Redskins of Washington, live from RFK Stadium, sold out for the 157th consecutive time. And believe me, there is no place to play, no more enthusiastic setup than RFK. Here's how Dexter Manley welcomed his teammates onto the field. Standings in the NFC's Eastern Division. The Giants and the Redskins both at 11-2. This amounts to a championship game because in all likelihood, whoever wins today will win the Eastern Championship. It's the Giants and the Redskins, and here is how close they are. Points scored, points allowed, the net down at the bottom. The Giants 5.7, the Redskins 5.8, a difference of 1/10 of 1 point. About your matchups. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall. In addition to all that buildup and all those things we talked about, other elements that make this a big game, we have the top 2 punters, we have the top 2 quarterbacks in terms of yardage gained in the NFC, we have 2 of the top running backs. It has everything. It is indeed a big game, one that builds up and leads up to the playoffs. With me, of course, is John Madden. And John, with these 2 teams so evenly matched, so closely knit, so much at stake, first of all, let's talk about the Redskins and how they approach this game.
Well, you know, it's interesting when we're talking about Joe Gibbs. You know, we're talking to him yesterday and watching the Redskins practice. They are about as fired up as a football team can be. And Joe Gibbs was just talking about the run, though. He said, you know what we have to do? He said, if we're going to win, he said, we have to be able to run. The last time they played, they lost to the Giants. They only rushed for 32 yards. But Joe Morris also rushed against them for 181 yards. He said, we can't allow him to do that today.
And the Redskins, of course, have had great success here at home. And as a matter of fact, this series in recent years particularly has been a home-and-home series. How about Joe Gibbs and his Redskins?
Well, you know, the Giants, you know, and Bill Parcells, what he was talking about is saying that even though we were able to run against them last time, he said, what I think we have to do, and I've never heard Bill Parcells talk like this, he said, but we have to go bombs away. He said, we have to attack them, and we have to attack them deep. Now, I know that he still thinks he has to run on because you can't get away from the run. You can't let Dexter Manley just come free in your quarterback. You have to run enough to keep him honest, but Parcells and the Giants want to throw deep today.
And Parcells and the Giants will have their chance first as the Redskins will kick off deep for the Giants. Phil McConkey and Solomon Miller. Steve Cox will kick it off for the Redskins. McConkey is number 80. Sellout crowd number 157 for the Redskins. Cox with a very strong leg, usually kicks it very high and very deep. This time he aims in the direction of McConkey, who handles it right at the goal line. And McConkey is hit inside the 20. Redskins special teams led by Dean Hamill. Get down in a hurry. Phil Simms, second in the NFC in yards passing, will start at quarterback. He'll face that Washington defensive line. Man, Butson Grant inside and Dexter Manley at right defensive end. Calvin Daniels, the Olkowitz in the middle, and Rich Malott, the linebacker. Green and Wilburn, the cornerbacks. Walton and Curtis Jordan, the safety men. Morris and Maurice Carthon, number 44, the runners. Sims going to work in a hurry. Up the middle, complete. Bavaro to the 40, to midfield. Shoves and runs over a couple of tacklers, gets down to the Redskin 41. Finally knocks him down after a gain of 41. Back when that play began, John, one of the Redskins broke clear and just ran by Sims.
Well, you know, that was the thing that the Giants wanted to start with right there. You see it was a blitz. The middle linebacker, Okowitz, coming up there. I think they think, the Redskins think they're going to run, so they want to come out passing. And, of course, that's a great way to start a game.
That's a great way to quiet that crowd, too. Stacy Robinson split wide to the left. McConkey in motion. Sims back to throw it again. Bavaro again. Another Giant first down inside the 30. Rich Malott. Let's look at the offense. Sims, as mentioned, the quarterback, Joe Morris and Maurice Carthon. The two runners behind him, Bobby Johnson and Stacy Robinson, although McConkey was in on the last play. Up front, it's Benson, Ard, Oates, Godfrey, Carl Nelson, and Mark Bavaro. It's another 1st and 10. They're inside the Redskin 30. Tim Morrison in on defense. To go up top, has a lot of time. Intended in the corner and picked off, intended for Johnson, and Darrell Green comes down with it. Sims with a lot of time. Stacy Robinson wide to the left. Broke clear, but by that time Sims was looking to the right.
I still think that the Giants accomplished what they wanted to. They didn't run a play. The Redskins were watching for Joe Morris. They were able to pass, come out passing. This had a chance. It was just thrown short. Johnson got behind Darrell Green. Had he thrown that ball to the corner, that could have been a touchdown.
Darrell Green in the offseason, and one of those setup sprint races, turned out to win everything. He's the fastest man on record in the NFL, at least of those who participated. Ricky Sanders is split wide to the right. Schrader chased around in the end zone, fires on the bounce. Intended for Don Warren. Darrell Green over on the sideline. He had a bad shoulder. It looked like he might have landed on that shoulder after the interception. The Giant defensive line, Martin, Eric Howard starting at nose tackle, and Leonard Marshall. Linebackers, Banks, Reasons, Carson, and Lawrence Taylor. In the secondary, Elvis Patterson, Perry Williams, Hill, and Kennard. Gary Clark is wide left. Schrader back to throw again. Over the head of Art Monk.
It's interesting, Pat, that the Redskins, instead of starting with 2 tight ends, although Clint Didier has a broken hand, they're starting 3 wide receivers. So they're starting this game playing 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. Of course, that running back was George Rogers, and now it's Kelvin Bryant for the 3rd down play.
3rd down and 10, the Redskins from their own 4. Elvis Patterson goes out with Art Monk. Patterson starting instead of Mark Collins, who has 4 broken bones in his hand. Clark goes in motion. Kennard goes with him. Slater back to throw again. The pocket collapsing. Schrader chased by Martin. Fires deep. Intended for Monk. Pass picked off. Greg Lasker, the rookie safety man, came up with the interception. And the Giants get it back.
It was almost a sack, though. They flushed Schrader out. He had to run out to the right, so he had time to do this. We'll see Lasker coming over here. So he's coming over. He's the short underneath guy. And Monk, the pass was to Monk, and Lasker intercepted it.
Back at RFK Stadium, Pat Summerall, John Madden. Turnovers 1 apiece so far, and we have yet to see a running play. 56 in the background. Head coach Joe Gibbs of the Redskins.
That's the interesting thing, you know. Joe Morris had such a big game last time, gaining 181 yards. Redskins says, we have to stop that. Redskins said they have to run. We've yet to have a running play.
Yeah, both coaches said we have to establish a run. We've got to be able to do that. Here comes Morris in motion. Giants back to throw again is Sims. Dumps it off to Maurice Carthon. Carthon down into Redskin territory, down at about the 43, a gain of 8. Calvin Daniels and Neil Olkowitz knock him down.
You know, against the Redskins on Monday night, the Giants had 2 touchdowns on the same type of pattern where they put like 2 or 3 guys deep, just read the weak safety and throw away from him. That was a pattern, that same pattern that time, but they threw to the short guy, Carthon.
McConkey split wide to the left. Here's the first running play. Morris breaks it to the outside. Gets close to the first down. Stopped by Curtis Jordan. He may have it. Very close.
You know, one thing that Joe Gibbs was saying that they had the problem with the last time, he said, was tackling. He said when Joe Morris would run the ball, he said we'd get one guy there. That guy just missed the tackle. He'd keep going. He said, so we have to get more than one, or when we get the one guy there, we better tackle him.
You made a very, I thought, interesting observation about that yesterday, which we'll get to in just a minute. 3rd and 1. Not quite 1. It's Morris. Right side has it. Down close to the 30. Curtis Jordan stopped him, and if he didn't, they're kicking the extra point right down. A gain of 11.
I'll tell you, they run right at that power, right behind Carl Nelson, Mark Bavaro, and Zeke Mowat. You see, they have the 2 tight ends on that side, a lead by Carthon. Bavaro and Nelson get good blocks in there, and of course, Joe Morris breaks it through. That's where they got the big run against the 49ers. Remember that 4th down run?
Yeah.
They go in midfield. Joe Morris runs it right through that same area.
Bavaro, the tight end, lined up on the right end of the line, and Sims looking in that direction. Does get rid of it, intended for Carthon. Finally, he almost ducked and was willing to take the sack, and then he saw something to throw it to.
I'll tell you one thing they're doing. Watch the blocking here on Dexter Manley. That's Brad Benson. He started out in a strong game, Benson has. See, Oates is helping. He has a little help there, a little holding there, but Dexter Manley hasn't got close to Phil Sims yet. And that's what they want to do, because they think if you don't let him get there early, he'll get frustrated. If he gets here early, it's bombs away.
I think they got away with a little holding, as you said, on that last play. Both of them did, in fact. Here's Morris. Ducks under a tackler. And is brought down by Olkowitz at just about the line of scrimmage. Alvin Walton was coming on a blitz. Getting back to what we started to say a minute ago about the tackling, it seems, and I think you were right, in the last couple of weeks, 3 weeks in fact, we've seen some very poor tackling. Why would that be happening now?
It seems like to me when teams get eliminated or they're not going to be in it, that little level of intensity they lose is the tackling level. The championship teams still tackle well, the others don't.
Galbraith is in the backfield as Sims is sacked by Mann. That's the first one. That might have taken them out of field goal range.
That was a good, you worry about Dexter Manley, but here's Charles Mann right here. He's going to come. Nelson has to block him. Carl Nelson, he just gets a pull and then right through on him. You don't hear much about Charles Mann, but he's a pretty good pass rusher too. See, he just bull rushes him right through him, and there's Sims. Hey, when Nelson gets back and you get that first pop, boom, you got to stand him up. You can't let him push you back.
Landetta aims for out of bounds. Ken Jenkins was the man back deep. Ball bounces toward the end zone. The Giants let it roll, and they down it inside the Redskin 5. Perry Williams. A punt of 33 yards. That's not impressive, but where it stopped is impressive. The Redskins, for the second consecutive time, start from deep in their land. The Giants nothing, the Redskins nothing. 9:39 left to play. Wayne Sevier, that's left to play in the first quarter, out talking to back judge. Red Cashin is the referee. I don't know what Wayne is so upset about. That's Paul Betts he's talking to.
Well, Wayne's a special teams coach, and it has to be something that happened on that punt play.
George Rogers is back in the game behind Schrader. He appears to be calling an audible. It is back to throw. Sanders. A little breathing room. A gain of just about 9. Greg Lasker up to make the stop. Kenny Hill was there as well.
I think you were right, Pat. It wasn't audible. They saw, again, they're playing 3 wide receivers. They saw Ricky Sanders was out here in the left. The defensive guy was playing off him, so he audibleized to that little quick in front of him.
2nd and 1. Watch for Rogers with the Redskins' first run. Not yet. Clark. In front of Perry Williams and a Redskin first down. That looked like an audible, too.
I tell you, that's one thing you don't do too many times, though. They throw it quick out here in this left side to Ricky Sanders. Then they come back and they throw it to Gary Clark. Now watch Perry Williams, number 23, the defensive back. He's getting closer and closer. He hit about the same time the ball arrived. They try that again, and that could be going in the end zone.
Well, they could be also setting up a little deep one.
That would be the better idea.
First down, Redskins. They're at their own 19, and here's Rogers. A gaping hole over the left side. I think the hole was so big it surprised him.
Yeah, he started dancing. He didn't know what to do. You know, George Rogers has a bad shoulder. He missed last week's game. Watch what happened. Leonard Marshall, you see his head there? He's talking to Lawrence Taylor. Now he's going to wide. He moves Taylor out. Now he says, no, you're not. I'll go in. You stay out. Now what happens? He gets in. They turn him in, turn Taylor out, and look at that hole there. Big old tackles could run in there.
Rogers was shocked. He didn't know where to go. 2nd and 4.
By the offense, still 2nd down.
Schrader took a little too long. Red Cashin, as I said, the referee.
Again, I think that was an audible, Pat. I think he was trying to get into an audible. Usually when you hear Jay Schrader say yellow, that's a dummy audible. That means that they're going to run the play call. If he says anything else, it's usually going to be an audible.
Any other color.
Any other color.
2nd down. Clark is wide to the left. Here's Schrader back to throw. Lawrence Taylor on a blitz. Ball is loose, and Rogers has it. Or had it. Carson's over to make sure that Rogers stayed down.
There's Lawrence Taylor. Watch him come by Joe Jacoby, 66. Jacoby's going to set up to block him. Taylor just gives him a hit, dips that left shoulder, boom, right around him, and hits Schrader in the back. I tell you, here's a guy that can dominate a game. He doesn't do it every game. He's had some injuries, but I'll tell you, when he's ready to play, look out.
Quarterback sacks in the NFL. The leaders are both in this game. One just got one to tie the leader. Schrader flushed out of the pocket again, looking for some place to throw it, and he found a green spot. Don Warren was the closest Redskin. Andy Hedden led the pressure on Schrader. They've done a good job rushing the passer. Hedden looks like he might have stung his shoulder a little bit. He was signaling for help from the bench. That looks like one of those that numbs the whole right side and then goes away pretty soon.
I'll tell you, he's upset about it. This is the type of game that you don't want to miss a play in.
Looking better already. Steve Cox back to kick. Doesn't get all of it. McConkey lets it bounce. It takes a giant roll. And the Redskins down it at their own 47-yard line. Todd Bowles. Only a 30-yard punt by Steve Cox. 6:11 left first quarter. 0-0. playoff picture, the division leaders, of course, playing here at RFK today. The Giants and Redskins both at 11-2. Both are in the playoffs. So are the Bears. They clinched the championship. They're the best of the rest. The Rams lead the West. 49ers, Dallas, and Minnesota. There are other possibilities. Too complicated at the moment to get into. But as the afternoon progresses, some of those things should clarify. Mowat was the man in motion, and Morris runs to his left. Is really met by Dexter Manley. A gain of 1.
That's what you have to do. You know, everyone wants to run at Dexter Manley. And, of course, watch him. He plays a double team. There's Bavaro and Benson. He gets off Bavaro, squares up, boom. Right there for a loss. I'll tell you, that's how to play the run. That's how to play a double team.
There's a guy who's really worked on how to play the run.
Well, one time he was just a pass rusher. Now he's more interested in stopping the run.
Second down, 9. Sims back to throw. Look out, Manley's coming. Manley hit Sims just as he let it go.
I'll tell you, Phil Sims is looking at him. He's lucky he got up after that one. Watch him here. Pretty good pass protection. Watch him. He's going to come in from the backside and get him in the back and the knees.
Ooh.
Look, the knees and the back don't bend that way.
Bears leading 7-0. Green Bay leading Minnesota 3-0. Pittsburgh over Detroit. 3rd and 9, and Galbraith into the game. Sims having trouble hearing or being heard. Now backs out of the shotgun. Into the shotgun. McConkey is the move man. Redskins on a blitz. Incomplete. Intended for Bobby Johnson. The Giants will have to punt. Tell you, the Giants had a couple of chances and got nothing out of it. And you can sort of feel things turning around now.
You sure can, because when you get those chances in a big game, you have to have some points on the board. And they've had their shot, and they still have 0. Now you can feel that the Redskins' momentum is starting to come.
Landeta back, standing at his own 40. Jenkins at the 10 for the Redskins. Gonna watch it soar over his head. No, now he makes the catch. Did not signal for a fair catch. Pepper Johnson, number 52, the first man down for the Giants. 34-yard punt, 2-yard return, so they net 32. First quarter has been pretty much a standoff with 5:16 left to play. It's a 0-0 score. Just look at where the Giants have started in their 3 possessions. They average their own 40. Look where the Redskins have had to come from. In their 3 possessions, they average their own 7, and they're back there again.
Maybe the word shouldn't be momentum. Maybe it should be average where you start possession.
And how far you got to go.
Maybe that means momentum.
Schrader quickly this time behind Art Monk. There's the Giants' new nose tackle, Eric Howard, just activated. Jim Burt with his bad back. And Howard is a big, strong guy who's very quick. Strongest man on the team. Second-round draft choice this past year. 6'3", 270 or thereabouts. Kelvin Bryant in the Redskin backfield in place of Rogers. The right play called. And Bryant gets out to about the 24 before Harry Carsons and Kenny Hill trip him up.
They had 2nd and long, and they want to make them show that they're going to pass and then run the draw. There's Howard. We're watching him. They turn him out. He's really playing it pretty well. He just misses the tackle right there. The Giants finally get on him. Well, it's a first down for the Redskins, but that's a good time to run a draw. 2nd and long, because if you hit it, you can get a first down. If you don't, you still have 3rd down to pass it.
And they hit it. 1st and 10 Redskins. There's their own 23. Make it the 24. Just inside the 25, as a matter of fact. And here's Rogers, left side. He gets about 3. Harry Carsons on the stop.
I think the Giants were really hurting against the run when they lost Jim Burt, because earlier they had lost Curtis McGriff at left end. So what happened to him last week is they had George Martin, who's a pass rusher, playing left end against the run, and they had Jerome Salley, who was the pass guy, playing nose tackle. So now at least they have Eric Howard in there to play the run.
That would account for some of the yards, I think, that the 49ers got against them on the ground. Here's Schrader. Fake draw. Taylor chases, almost got there. And Schrader just throws in the direction of the Redskin bench. Taylor was close.
I'll tell you, Taylor did get there. Watch him coming from the outside again. Joe Jacoby having trouble with Taylor today. Taylor's just outspeeding him. He hit Schrader just as he threw the ball. And the ball just kind of went up. Bloop, 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 bloop. To no one.
Lawrence Taylor, of course, will forever be entwined in the career of Jay Schrader, because as unfortunate as it was when he broke Joe Theismann's leg last year, it gave Schrader his entrance to the lineup. He's showing blitz again on third down. Coming again. Almost loose again. Forces Schrader out of the pocket. Warren digs for the first down, and I think he got it. Yes, he did. Banks on the tackle. Great effort by Warren.
Hey, if I were the Giants, I'd bring Lawrence Taylor every play from this backside, because Schrader just gets rid of this one by stepping up. You know, had he not, it would have been another sack. So I think the Giants, they just have to keep Taylor coming, keep bringing that pressure, and he's going to get there half the time.
On the move is Anthony Jones. George Rogers, the running back. Over the right side for perhaps a couple. Lawrence Taylor chased it down with help from Jerome Salley.
They moved Lawrence Taylor around. He was, you know, we saw him rush the passer from the right side of the defense. That time he lined up over on the left side.
Well, that's what makes him, among other things, including ability, such an asset. Changing from side to side or in the middle, as the case might be, doesn't seem to bother him.
Bothers the offense, though.
Oh, yeah. To Rogers again. He's hit by Carsons right at the line of scrimmage. Well, Joe Gibbs was saying, when we have the ball, there's one thing we have to concern ourselves with. Where is that guy? Where is number 56? Then we know what we have to do.
Yeah, but then it's not easy after you know where he is. I mean, Joe Jacoby's finding that out. He knows where he is. He doesn't know what to do about it.
Up a 3rd and 7, Redskins at their own 40. No score yet. Minute and a half left, first quarter. Here comes Taylor again. Schrader gets it off to Bryant. Enough for a first down just past midfield. And a gain of 11. Carl Banks stopped him.
That's why the Redskins are such a good team, because they're not giving him the time. Taylor has been on Schrader all day. So he's making him throw instead of to Clark and Monk, but Schrader's able to do it. He hits his tight end, Donnie Warren. He hits his running back, Kelvin Bryant, to get rid of the ball before the rush gets there.
1st and 10. Less than a minute left in the first quarter. This time, Taylor is on the left side of the defense. They run in that direction. Rogers pounds for about 5. Carson's on the bottom of the pile with help from Salley.
You know, that's one thing. If you're going to run at the Giants, that's where they're running now. As we talked about George Martin being the pass rush guy and really not that strong against the run.
2nd and 6. Nothing score. Schrader gets to Rogers. Rogers tried to get it from the outside. Did get to the inside as he ducked back in. Stopped by Carsons. Close to a first down. The Giants Giants in 1986 have not scored a touchdown in the first quarter. The only team in the NFL, and they still haven't done it. That's the end of one. At sold out RFK Stadium, the score is the Giants nothing, the Redskins nothing. They are even indeed.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Miller Lite, proud sponsor of NFL Lineman of the Year. There's only one light beer, Miller Lite. The heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet. And by GTE. GTE.
At the end of the first quarter, no score. We're ready to start the second. Redskins have a very unusual lineup in there, John. Extra tackles.
Well, they have 7 offensive linemen in there. Their normal 5 plus Dan McQuaid and Wally McKenzie. That's 7. You know, they're called the Hogs anyway. That's the full barrel of Hog.
And you put Anthony Jones, number 82, in there behind him. He's about 260. And Warren back in front of Rodgers. That is a full package. Rodgers gets the Redskin first down.
Bill Parcells should have been in there to play that one from that stand. But I'll tell you, that's all offensive linemen and a 250-pound tight end in the backfield. And then you just take that thing and just, boom, just like a tractor, you know, coming in to mow out some trees and stuff.
George Rogers, they say he is always smiling. 1st and 10 Redskins at the Giant 39. Rogers left side, hit behind the line of scrimmage by Eric Howard, who broke clean, a loss of 1.
You know, that's the thing. When that nose tackle can get in that backfield, watch Howard here. He's going to go, boom, get that penetration and get in the backfield before the run can get started. You see what happened? They were pulling the off-guard tackle. He got right in behind him, and he got Rodgers before he got to the line of scrimmage.
Makes it 2nd and 11. Clark is split wide to the right. Bryant is in the backfield. This is Monk moving. Bryant inside the 35 to about the 32, a gain of 7 before Reasons and Carson, make the stop.
Yeah, talking about Carson, he was the guy last time they played. Rodgers ran in there. Carson hit him, he was on the pile, and he said, "We're going to knock that smile off your face today." Giant players were talking about it last night. They said, surprisingly, Rodgers was quoted as saying that this week they were surprised that he even remembered it.
That brings up 3rd and 4. Clark goes in motion this time. Schrader goes back to throw. Chased out of the pocket by Marshall and by Sally. And they get him down for the 2nd time today and take him again out of field goal range.
It's a big play by the Giant defense. We see Taylor rushes inside. It's a stunt. Marshall's going to the outside. Watch number 70. Now watch him take off and extend as Schrader tried to get outside of him. I'll tell you, that was something, but he was stunting that way.
Big Leonard. Schrader's a tough guy to sack. He's very quick and big.
For a big guy, Marshall can bring that 300 pounds pretty good.
Sure can and did. Cox kicks it straight up. McConkey comes up running up, signaling fair catch and makes it at about the Giant 23. Only a punt of 25 yards. And we have 12:49 left to play in the first half, and we still have no one on the scoreboard.
Pat, Art Monk hasn't caught a pass. Gary Clark has only caught one. I think this is the reason, this side of the rush. This time, Taylor comes here and comes inside. Marshall comes to the outside to get the sack. Before, it had been Taylor just coming from the outside. Watch, Taylor comes to the inside. There goes 70 to the outside, and he gets the sack. But that left side of their offense hasn't been able to control the pass rush.
Giants have it 1st and 10. Morris has the handoff, and Morris fumbles. Scramble still goes on. It'll take a minute. The Giants have it back.
You see number 41 there, Tim Morrison for the Redskins. The ball hit him in the heel. He didn't even see it. He was turning the other way, and the ball was rolling right towards him. Watch here, the ball is knocked out of there by man. Now watch it roll. You see it hit Morrison, he didn't even see it. It hit him in the heel, and the Giants came up with it.
Solomon Miller came up with the recovery, and the Giants get a 1st down out of it. Sims back to throw. Lofts it to Bavaro, comes down with it. Bavaro out of bounds inside the Redskin 40 to the 37. This guy is something.
I think Phil Sims looked like he hurt his hand or he hurt something, because he's running to the, nope, he's going back to the huddle. He started to the sideline. We can see what it is. But I'll tell you, if I were Phil Sims, I'd look for that Bavaro too. Because one thing, he's a big target, but the other thing, after he catches the ball, he runs through that defense like a runaway truck.
He had that remarkable run against the 49ers last Monday night. And he's had a big day already. Here's Morris to the right side, trying to get around the corner, and he does. With that great acceleration, Joe Morris turns what looked like a loss into a 5-yard gain. Sims is still a little bit queasy about something.
That's usually what a quarterback will do after he gets knocked queasy, is go to a running play. And when you have a guy like Joe Morris, that makes sense. I think that's what makes Joe Morris such a good runner. There can be a lot of guys there, and they're waiting for him, and he just runs around them.
That was Jeff Hostetler. I beg your pardon. Jeff Rutledge over warming up. Here's Morris again, and again he comes out of there. Rutledge was the man warming up. Hostetler is on the inactive list now with a broken leg. There's Morris. Now he's limping.
I know Joe Morris, and you see that side a lot of times where he'll limp off, and about 2 plays later, he'll be back. Watch him. It's the same thing. They have guys there. The Redskins have guys there. But he just runs through and around them. See, they'll check him out a little, maybe give him a little oxygen, maybe a little tape somewhere. He'll be back in.
Lee Roussan has taken his place. And they give the ball to Roussan. And he skips to about the 25 before Curtis Jordan tripped him up. Second down and 8. They're at the Redskin 25. Neither team has really been able to protect the passer with any degree of success. Sims has had the better of it between him and Schrader. Reverse is faked by Roussan. It was going to be to Bobby Johnson. Roussan wisely held on to it.
Watch Dexter Manley. He's the guy, if you're going to run a reverse, you always want to run it to his side. So when he stops it and it doesn't work, he gets so excited. He says, look, we got him. Look, he's the outside guy here. He gets up the field. He sees the reverse or the fake reverse coming, and he stops it in there. Then he feels good because he thinks, now they won't mess with me anymore on that one. Now I can just rush the passer.
He does feel good.
Yeah, look at him. Look, he's pointing, talking. He got things going down there now.
3rd and 9, Sims out of the shotgun. No blitz, but they don't need to. Man and a bunch of others are on top of Phil Sims, and they come up with a football. Darrell Grant. I'm not sure it was a fumble yet. I'll
tell you, here it is, It looks like the whistle blows. I don't think this is a play, Pat.
I think you're right.
I think they blew the whistle before the ball was snapped.
The flag was thrown for delay before the ball was snapped. Third down.
Oh, the Giants get a break on that one.
They did, because not only did they get away from that sack, get away from the fumble, but they still have good field position for a possible setup of a field goal here.
It would be about 47 yards for Allegre if this should be incomplete or they don't get the first down. Sims rolls right. Got his man Bobby Johnson. First down out of bounds. Down deeper in Redskin territory. A gain of 19.
I think this is a good play for the Giants. Watch, it's an organized scramble to the right. See, he just takes the ball in the shotgun. Now he rolls out here. He gets away from that backside pass rush. He can look. He looks downfield, and he finds Bobby Johnson just beyond the first down marker. I like that play, though.
That's a good way to get away from that rush. First and 10 at the 13. Joe Morris back in the backfield, as John Madden told you he would be. Sims to throw. Over the head of Maurice Carthon. Again, he was under heavy pressure. Brings up second and 10 from the Redskin 13.
You know, the Giants have that pattern, Pat, where they put, like, Joe Morris down one seam deep into the end zone and Bavaro down the other seam deep into the end zone. I would expect it on this play.
Bill Parcells said yesterday they have about 5 different versions of that. They could do it here. Instead, they give to Morris. Inside the 10 to about the 9. Again, it's Charles Mann on the stop.
I'll tell you, now what happened, it got him into third down, and it got him about the 10-yard line. Now they're a little close to do that, but it did get him in a passing situation.
3rd and 7. The book on Allegre. He had his problems in Candlestick Park Monday night. He says they're solved with a new pair of shoes.
He said this field, he said this field is a lot like the Baltimore field.
Here's Sims. Bavaro touchdown. Todd Bowles was the nearest defender, but Sims hits Bavaro.
That's the one I thought they'd do on second down. You just take that big tight end and just put him right down there in that short post. Watch from the end zone here. He's on the right side. Bavaro's going to come into the picture right now. Boom, you got that big target down there, and he can make that shield just like a basketball player does.
Rutledge will hold for Allegre's extra point attempt. The Giants lead. Been a tough first half. 7-0. Get it into the end zone first. Sims. Bavaro. 8:35 left in the first half. Giants 7-0. Pat Summerall, John Madden, RFK Stadium, Washington, D.C. The Giants have got the only points. They went 10 plays. Touchdown pass from Sims to Bavaro. Allegre to kick off. Clarence Verdun is deep in the middle for the Redskins. From his own 4. Verdun to about the 26. Reasons down to make the stop, along with Solomon Miller.
Let's watch the touchdown. Bavaro's 89. Watch him here. He's going to start up. Then he just starts to the outside, then runs a post back to the inside. Now we'll watch it on the chalkboard and see what... Here's Bavaro here. Here's McConkey here. They both run post. And what Sims is going to do is he keys this guy right here. Now watch what happened. They start here. Now right there, the safety looks to McConkey here, and then he throws to Bavaro in the middle.
Schrader a sudden, he didn't have time. We're at RFK Stadium in Washington, the home of the Redskins. The crucial matchup between the Giants and the Redskins so far. Bavaro has 4 receptions. He has the only touchdown of the game. Washington has only 23 passing yards. Joe Morris has been able to run, but just a little bit. Delvin Bryant in for Rodgers. Clark wide right. 2nd and 10. Almost picked off by Harry Carson. Art Monk, I believe, was the intended receiver. Carson had a shot.
I'll show you why Carson has a shot. Watch the right side of the screen. Now what they're doing, let me just show you. Here's Donnie Warren, the tight end. By keeping him in, that's going to free the linebackers up. But they have to keep him in, see, to block Lawrence Taylor. So now the Giants defense has them keeping their tight end in. So that's freeing other guys that would be covering.
Schrader is 5 out of 13. More importantly, for only 42 yards. They've rushed him so he can't go deep. Again, he's flushed out of the pocket by Marshall. Tended Clark, picked off by Herb Welch. And the Giants will take over as the Redskins 40. The pressure did it.
I tell you, the pressure did it. The pressure's been doing it all day, and the pressure is taking this crowd away from the Redskins. They're starting to boo them now. Watch this pressure. Now it's going to be from the left side. See, that flushes him out to the right. Here he's being chased. Here comes George Martin up the field. He has to throw the ball running. Welch was right there as Clark was coming across.
We were talking with Marshall last night. I asked him if he was ready to play, and he said, "You better believe I'm ready." And he is.
If you can't get ready for this one, you can't get ready.
1st and 10 Giants, Redskin 40. They go with 2 tight ends. Morris, right side, no gain. Calvin Daniels on the bottom of the pile. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10. It's the man who got the interception.
You know, to me, he's the guy that had a big play in that 49er game last week. The 49ers were driving. At the end of the game, he tackled Rice for about a 2-yard gain. He got him down so that they had to go on 3rd and 4th down.
Manley trying to get the crowd back in the game and behind the Redskins. Morrison is in the game and Coffey is out. And here's Joe Morris in motion. Sims straight back. Got a man. Bobby Johnson is knocked down at the last second. Somebody threw a shoe. There's a pigeon on the field. How did he get in there?
Well, he wanted to get down there. He couldn't get a seat. He tried to get up above, and there was no place. The only place there was only that he could land was right there.
He was in the middle of the action. I thought the shoe came off.
I'll tell you, there's the throw. Johnson really has him beat. And there's the pigeon was right there where Johnson was running. I think there were 2 pigeons there. Johnson's trying to run a post pattern, and the pigeon's getting away.
And they're still there.
That's, you know, the old thing, you can run down to the pigeon and turn left.
Sims out of the shotgun this time, going deep again. Got Bavaro. He had him wide open. It would have been a tough catch. Bavaro's totally by himself.
Well, you know, those are the things that Bill Parcells thought that they could get. He says, we're going to throw against these guys. We're going to attack them. We're going to throw deep. They had Bobby Johnson open. Now he has Bavaro. Look, he's wide open. There's not a defender around there. What they do is they get the safety going one way. They have like 2 or 3 guys going deep, and then just read the way the safety goes and then throw the other way.
Giants had a chance to go up 14-zip. They just missed connections. Landetta aiming for the sideline. Jenkins back deep. Signals fair catch makes it. Redskins will take over at their own 15. Those 2 guys don't know there's a game here. 7-0 with 7:04 left to play in the first half at RFK. Next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern Time, another season of college basketball begins here on CBS Sports as the defending Pac-10 champion Arizona Wildcats take on Reggie Williams and the Georgetown Hoyas. College basketball next Saturday on CBS Sports, the home of the NCAA championship. And by the way, all of us at CBS Sports very happy that we have reached a new 3-year agreement with the NCAA for college basketball. It'll be their home for a while to come. Rogers over the right side. Perhaps he got back to the line of scrimmage. It was Carl Banks. He might have gotten a yard.
Let's watch that Mark Bavaro play again. He runs a post. Now what happens is this safety goes this way, this safety goes this way, and Bavaro has the middle, and the only one in there is still those two pigeons in the middle. Watch the safeties clear out. One safety goes left, the other one goes right. Watch this. Bavaro has the whole middle of the field all to himself. And the ball was just overthrown.
Second down and 10. Redskins at their own 15. Monk is the movement. Schrader back to throw. Had some time. Gets the ball to Kelvin Bryant. Reasons on the stop, a gain of 5. It'll bring up a third down. Giants come in with their nickel package. The extra defensive backs.
I'll tell you one thing, that the Redskins don't want to go all day completing passes and ended up 3rd and 5.
That's not like Jay Schrader.
No, and of course when you have guys like Art Monk on one side, Gary Clark on the other side, and you can't get the ball to him, I think it's starting to frustrate Schrader.
Monk is in the slot to the right. Schrader has Sanders as his wide receiver. Along with Clark. He's going for Clark, and he's open this time. Gary Clark. Still on his feet is Clark, and he could score. Nope. Down inside the Giant 30 to about the 27, a gain of 54 yards. Elvis Patterson finally made the stop.
Maybe Schrader isn't frustrated anymore. He has to get the ball to Gary Clark. He does a hit, he does a spin, he does an up, he does a stop, he does a spin, he does a cross, he does a lot of things before he finally falls down on his own. Andy Hedden was very close to Jay Schrader. Watch from the left side of the screen. If he hits right there, boom, Hedden hit him just as he threw that ball.
Redskins at the Giant 26, 1st and 10. Kelvin Bryant stays in the game as the running back. Schrader going to work through it. Gets it outside, or attempted for Don Warren. Incomplete. For an NFL update right now, let's take you to Brent Musburger in New York.
Well, Pat and John, Doug Flutie quarterbacking the Chicago Bears, and he scores his first NFL touchdown, and he did it on the ground against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bears in a rout so far. It's 21-0. Let's go back to Pat and John.
Here at RFK, it's 7-0 Giants, but the Redskins on the move. 2nd and 10 at the Giant 26. Schrader with 3 wide receivers. Gibbs on a draw play to Bryant. And Bryant gets down to about the 21. Pick up of 4. Reasons on the stop, along with Eric Dorsey. Playing in place now of Martin.
Well, that was what Bill Parcells said. He said, if we start having trouble with the run, he said, I'm going to get Eric Dorsey in there at that left end and get Eric Howard in at the nose tackle.
Dorsey goes out. Now Martin comes in, the pass rusher.
Because it's 3rd down. Carson comes out. All those run guys come out on 3rd down.
3rd down, 6. Schrader chased again. Gets it out to Bryant, who skips away from one Giant and gets down close to 1st down. It's going to be a measure, I'm sure.
Hey, this is where they had him. They had Bryant. Bryant makes a couple moves. Going to be a very interesting decision if it isn't a 1st down, but it is a 1st down.
It is a 1st.
Yeah, that was a combination. Part good running by Kelvin Bryant, part poor tackling by the Giants.
Redskins trying to tie it up. 1st and 10 at the Giant 15. They It's been a very clean game so far. Only 2 penalties, 1 for each team. Schrader gives to Bryant. Kelvin Bryant hammers inside the 5. Kenny Hill finally got him down, but Bryant got 11 yards.
What did they have blocking on that left side, Pat? Russ Grimm and Joe Jacoby there. Watch the left side there. They really get that thing going backwards. Look at it. Boom, boom, boom. They make a lane there that no one hits Kelvin Bryant till he runs 8 yards.
They did a marvelous job on Lawrence Taylor. They just chased him backwards. Jacoby trying to get even as Taylor had given him a hard time. Now they go with that heavy package. The 2 extra linemen. Rodgers gets to about the 3.
One thing about this formation, Pat, they have 7 offensive linemen in there and 2 tight ends. They really don't have anyone to throw to.
Anthony Jones wears a number in the 80s, but he's like another tackle, number 82.
Yeah, look at those big old guys. I mean, they got big arms on them, shoulders. Guys like McKenzie, number 63, playing tight end. McQuaid playing the other one, number 60. Big guys. Those guys bench press like 500 pounds, and they're playing tight end.
We'll get the 2-minute warning. Redskins at the Giant 4. Giant 4. It'll be 2nd and goal from there. 2 minutes to go in the first half. The Giants leading 7-0. But the Redskins have it 2nd and goal at the Giant 4. At the half, Brent and Terry Bradshaw with scores and highlights. Heisman Trophy winner Vinny Testaverde and Brian Bosworth are in the studio. Irv Cross will be here at RFK with a live field report. That's coming up at the half. Right now, the Redskins on the move. Kelvin Bryant is the setback. They have the wide receivers back in now. They do have somebody to throw to. They give is to Bryant, and he scores for the Redskins. Hammers in from 4 yards out. Reason stopped him, but the Redskins can tie it up.
They still have Warren over there. They have Mark May over there, the blocking. They just get helmet to helmet. I think Kelvin Bryant makes a couple moves in there, too. And he bounces off, makes a little spin, little dive to get in there.
He looks like the hot back today. Schrader holding. And Dejas extra point ties it at 7. A minute 55 left to play in the first half. Giants will have plenty of time and all 3 of their timeouts remaining. 7-7. We said in the beginning they are evenly matched. How about it?
Hey, watch, this run is going to go off to the left of your screen here. Watch number 85, Donnie Warren there. He's getting Lawrence Taylor. He stays with him, stays with him, stays with him, just long enough for Bryant to get it in there.
And the satisfaction of Joe Gibbs. 9 plays. The Redskins went 85 yards. They kept it 5 minutes, 9 seconds. The big play was the pass. Here's McConkey struggling to get back to the 20 and doesn't make it. Big play was the pass from Schrader to Clark.
Well, that was the thing that they had to do. The Redskins had been having trouble the entire first half of handling the pass rush of the Giants. Therefore, they couldn't get the ball to Monk and Clark. They finally hit one, and then Bryant took it over from there.
From 4 yards out. Giants will start from their own 19 with a minute 50 left to play. And all 3 timeouts, keep in mind. Manley trying to get the crowd involved, and they are. Tony Galbraith back with Simmons as the Giants will operate from the spread. See if they can hear. Handoff to Galbraith. Gain of 6. Todd Bowles tripped him up. The Giants in a hurry. Stacy Robinson wide to the left. 2nd and 4. Sims back to throw. Manley's cut down. They get it out to Galbraith, and he's got some room. And a first down. Outside the 30, about the 36, a gain of 12. Curtis Jordan stopped him. Again, they're in a hurry. Let's get things going. Clock running in a minute 15 now. Sims. Time. Out of bounds in the direction of McConkey.
The Redskins don't use this defense a lot. It's just their prevents. The defense I'm talking about is a 3-man line. Redskins are one of those teams that always have 4 defensive linemen in there. In fact, as we speak, Dave Butts is just running in to become the 4th defensive lineman. But the only time they do it is the end of the half and the end of the game in that prevent type situation that all fans hate. And the only thing that prevents is a win.
2nd and 10. Sims gives to Galbraith again. He shakes away from one man and gets to about the 40. Pickup of 3 before Charles Mann trips him up. Giants now not in too big of a hurry. Clock runs down to 50 seconds. And again, timeouts remaining. Here's Sims back to throw. Going deep, he's got Johnson knocked away at the last second. No, he came down with it. Bobby Johnson out of bounds, stopped the clock. Barry Wilburn was the defender. I thought Wilburn knocked the ball away at the last second.
No, Johnson catches it just inside. The guy that surprised me was 48 Ken Coffey. He took a real bad angle. He should have been over there to help deep with that. I'll tell you, that was really a throw by Phil Sims.
Excellent.
Dude, watch it. There's Johnson, the outside guy. Now watch 48. See the angle? He takes straight there. You'll never get there that way. You've got to take an angle where the ball's going to be thrown.
They're up there.
Yeah, that's right. That wasn't Walt Walton's fault on that one.
He took a swipe at it just as the ball arrived. I thought he hit it originally.
You know what happens when it's against the home team? When they hit one like that, instead of a cheering, you just hear silence. I don't know how you hear silence, but you know what I mean, though? Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, if the home team does it, there's a big cheer. If the visiting team does it, there's poof, nothing.
Well, one thing now, they're in Allegre's range for a field goal that would give the Giants the lead back again. They still have 2 timeouts remaining. They're at the Washington 26. They have the first down, so right now they have a lot of weapons at their disposal. Sims is 8 out of 16 for 162 yards. And a 1 touchdown pass to Bavaro. And a shot at another one. Morris and Carthon behind Sims as he is not in the shotgun. Redskins showing blitz. And Sims thinking that's coming. Sims quick. Outside Stacy Robinson. And Robinson still struggling. Gets down to the 5. It's another Giant first down. Morris and the defender, and Sims read that one perfectly.
Okay, he not only read it, but his offense picked it up for him because they came on a safety blitz. You can see that they're bringing the whole thing. Watch the 2 safeties coming up inside. Boom, Carthon gets one right there. Sims had a solid time to throw it. He just gets the ball out to Stacy Robinson, man on man out there against Tim Morrison. That was good by Sims, good by Robinson, but that pickup was about as good as you can get.
Good by Morris and Carthon, the 2 backs who picked up the 2 blitzing safeties.
When those 2 safeties come, they're the responsibility of the 2 backs. And even though they were going out on a pattern, they have to stay in and block.
Sims changed it at the line of scrimmage. It's 1st and goal at the 7. The Giants now down to 1 timeout.
This is a tough, the closer you get to the goal line, the more difficult it is to pass. The Giants are on the 7-yard line, so you really only have 17 yards. 7 yards to the goal line and 10 yards of end zone. And so instead, you can't run guys up deep. What you have to do is run them on crossing patterns. So I could see like Bavaro coming on a crossing type pattern.
Sims just returns to the huddle. Then over to talked to Parcells. First and goal from the 7. 29 seconds left in the first half. Score tied 7-7. Bobby Johnson wide right. Robinson wide left. Johnson comes in motion. Sims looking for a slot. Tosses, touchdown to Johnson. Sims' second of the day.
I'll tell you one thing, I think we have to give credit to this Giant offensive line because Sims can do it. If you give him time, he can get the job done, and this offensive line is giving him time. Watch him here. They have the crossing patterns. He has time. Manley's run to the backside. He can run up a little. Look at Bobby Johnson right at that end line all by himself.
With that crossing pattern that you spoke about. Allegre with Rutledge holding. 14-7 Giants. 23 seconds still remain in the first half. Bobby Johnson, who just scored the touchdown. Before that is what set up the touchdown.
Well, to me, I think the big story in the first half is the Giant pass protection. I'm sure that's what Bill Parcells is thinking now. If we can pass protect against these guys, we can throw it. Joe Gibbs on the other side is thinking, if we have to get the ball to Monk, we haven't done that. We have to get the ball to Clark. But before we can do that, we have to get our pass protection.
Lawrence Taylor and Leonard Marshall and company have given Jay Schrader fits, flushed him out of the pocket, sacked him a couple of times, and he hasn't been able to get that ball upfield like he likes to. Next Saturday, we'll be out in the mountains as these Redskins visit Denver. It begins at 3:30 Eastern Time with the NFL Today. That ought to be a heck of a match.
Well, it will be. You know, if they win here today, they're still going to have to win at Denver next week. That's where the Giants have an advantage. The Giants could lose today, and if the Redskins lose next week to Denver, then the Giants would still be in.
Both are already in the playoffs. Excuse me. Ken Jenkins fields the line drive kickoff and gets out to about the 35. 18 seconds remaining in the first half. Lee Roussan made the stop. Halftime approaching. The Bears with Doug Flutie scoring his first NFL touchdown. Lead Tampa Bay 21-0. Minnesota 13-6 over Green Bay. Cincinnati over New England. Cleveland beating Buffalo. Detroit, Pittsburgh tied 10-10. Atlanta 14-7 over Indianapolis. Miami 21-7 over New Orleans, with Marino having a hot day. From the 35, the Redskins with 18 seconds remaining, and Schrader goes back to throw. Taylor is loose. Third sack of the day by the Giants. 2 of them by Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor is a great player when he's not fired up. When he's fired up, he's like something else. They only have 2 defensive linemen. They have Martin and Marshall inside. Taylor is the 3rd defensive lineman out there in the right, and he got there. Joe Jacoby is having a tough time today against Lawrence Taylor.
Taylor's just too fast.
That's what he's beating him with. You know, I mean, they start up, they lock up in a strength thing, and then Taylor just outruns him. Look at Joe. He has his hands on his hips there, and he's saying something's going on here. He said, I need a tight end or something over here to slow this guy down.
That's a change I would anticipate we'll see in the second half.
Well, we did see it for a while, but then that takes your tight end out of the passing game, and then that gives him an extra linebacker or defensive back in pass coverage.
By the way, that touchdown pass from Sims to Bobby Johnson was his 100th of his career. Charles Connolly leads at 173, Tarkenton 103, and now Sims with 100.
I'll tell you, I've always felt that Phil Sims is maybe the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. In fact, I think we have 2 most underrated.
I agree.
Jay Schrader and Phil Sims. Maybe it's because they're both blonde-haired or something. Blue eyes.
Schrader back to throw again. Martin chases him out of the pocket this time. Schrader going deep, looking for Monk. And a lot of blue shirts around, and the ball's on the ground.
I'll tell you one thing about Schrader. I think he could get frustrated a little, but I don't think he's going to stay frustrated.
The injured Jim Burt. I wonder what time he starts putting that uniform on.
Well, they have to get all those things. You see, they have to tape. The first thing they do is they tape the jersey to the shoulder pads. Then you got to tie up that side to make it tight. See, so you take them. It takes like 3 hours to do. You have a pregame meal like 4 hours before the game. Then you go work on your jersey for 3, and then you're ready to play.
That jersey would make a clothes designer sick. A few pigeons on the field and a few in the stands. Schrader, as far as he can throw it. It's picked off by Perry Williams, and that should finish what has been a first half much as we expected. Very even. That's the end of the first half with a score: the Giants 14, the Redskins 7.